What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Sabretooth and the Exiles, issue number 3. What we have seen so far from this series is the Exiles secretly setting off and tracking down Sabretooth to an Orcus prison. To fend off the Exiles, Dr. Barrington deployed what she called the Creation, a human enhanced with the spoils of her experiments. The Doctor and the Creation being able to kidnap Orphan-Maker. They went to try and open him up. They tried tricking him, manipulating him. As he goes to take off his mask, we see that his power set is starting to go off. And so Third Eye brought the team and the Creation to the Astral Plane. They brought Orphan-Maker here so that they could try and reseal the armor before his powers fully manifested. Now, make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so we are picking up in the Astral Plane, with Sabretooth being the first to ask, now that we are here in the Astral Plane, how is this going to keep us from stopping Orphan-Maker from going explosive and destroying the real world? With Third Eye going on to say, think of this as pulling the battery out of an item. If you pull out the power source, it takes away its power. No battery, no explosion. Now Nanny is a little bit concerned. His body is still alive. Perhaps pulling his mind into the Astral Plane, it may put him in a medically induced coma. But if anything, we have only slowed down his functions, including the manifestation of his power. But now the plan is to try and fix his armor. The only problem, they're on the Astral Plane. They are floating out in space. Third Eye pointing over to an object. This is Station 3. This is an Orcus station that is in the Astral Plane. They have been conducting mining here. They have been mining creatures of the Astral Plane. There are no physical constructs on the Astral Plane, so it begs the question, how were they able to do this? There has to be something inside that is manifesting this base. But whatever the answer is, Orcus lost contact with this station. Nobody knows why. So as Third Eye and the rest of the team, they get their footing on this station, they find themselves going from astral form to their regular source form. This is where they see the Creation, letting them know that they shouldn't be here. But she also understands that she shouldn't be here at all either. This is where we pick up with Dr. Barrington. After that giant explosion, her boss gets on the horn, believing her to be dead. They have authorized to terminate her contract and this entire base. All evidence of her experiments and her existence. They are about to be wiped clean, but she is also refusing to stand down. That she is going to fight back against Orcus, taking us to the bodies of Sabretooth and the Exiles, the other thousands of mutants that are here in prison. They look at their bodies, wondering what happened to them. Why aren't they moving? What they do know is that they gotta find a way to get out of here. They believe that these mutants, the Exiles and Sabretooth, have come to save them. That why else would they be here? The Krakoa would never leave them to rot. That is what takes us into the Astral Plane. Orphan-Maker coming to. He is panicking. He is freaking out because entering the Astral Plane can be a confusing experience. His spirit is trying to find its way back to its body. This is where Melter interferes. Orphan-Maker has always believed that Melter is a human torch. So going up to him, they start having a conversation. Orphan-Maker asking everything that has ever been on his mind, such as, what is Dr. Doom like in real life? And so as Melter sits here and he makes up lies and he jokes around with Orphan-Maker to get him calmed down, we have Oya, Sabretooth, and Toad that are making their way through this facility, as there is a quick scrap between Sabretooth and Toad. Sabretooth still having beef from all the way back in House of X number 1. We see that here in the Astral Plane, Their mutant abilities, they are much bigger than they are in the real world, with Toad having tons and tons of tongues, able to wrap up Sabretooth. Sabretooth, he becomes much more of a beast than he already is. But that is what brings them to a room. Some kind of hideous monster, but there is a man floating on the inside of it. With Oya staying behind, we see Sabretooth and Toad. They hightail it out of here. They don't know what this thing is, they don't know what it means, but they're not sticking around to try and communicate with it. That is what picks us up back at the prison, with some of our mutants' powers being able to manifest. Dr. Barrington had put the device in all of these mutants the same that she put into Sabretooth, but it seems that they are malfunctioning. This allows them to be able to escape, getting all the mutants out of here. Dr. Barrington walks into the room, thinking that she has an army, only to find that there is an army standing against her. Back in the Astral Plane, we have the team that has almost completed Orphan-Maker's armor. This is where the creation, hearing the voice of Dr. Barrington, she runs. She runs back to her body as Dr. Barrington is surrounded by mutants, about ready to take her out. That is where the creation grabs hold of her and they get out of here. They are going to Station 4. And so, as the mutant prisoners decide that they're going to take Sabretooth and the Exiles with them as they flee this crashing ship, that is where we pick up with Oya. Necra believed that she had been left behind, but really she was trying to communicate with that monster. The person inside of it, we learn, was in fact Victor Creed. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Definitely an interesting turn of events. We have Victor Creed somehow also in the Astral Plane, and they have been using him to make some kind of physical form in the Astral Plane. This has helped them with all of their mining in the Astral Plane of creatures of unexplainable origins. Now, of course, we have no understanding of how this truly affects everything going on. We don't know how there is another Victor Creed. Maybe Orcus decided to clone it. Maybe it was found here out in the Astral Plane. But the big problem, at least for the time being, has been solved. Orphan-Maker's armor is being repaired, which means there is no going nuclear, at least for right now. I really do hope that we explore more of his power sets, because while we've gotten brief overviews, we have yet to do a full dive into the true potential of Orphan-Maker. But let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get caught up on everything going on with Sabretooth and the Exiles, be sure to check out the link in my description, as well as the top of this video. It is gonna get you completely caught up on everything going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having 5 different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to getting free comics every single month. Not only does this help out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're not able to do any of that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.